Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and get going on today's training. Again, kind of piggybacking off of the last two, we went over how to create campaigns at a low cost per lead, using KW command. The following class, we went over how to leverage those leads using smart plans to obviously follow up, because the gold is in the follow up, right? The class that we'll be going over today is how to generate leads as well, which we can also use smart plans to follow up with, specifically using QR codes and our KW consumer app. So some of the things that we'll be going over, obviously what a QR code is for those of us that don't know, where we can find our own personal KW app QR code, because we all have one already made for us. And we're going to go over some different examples that my personal team uses as a way to generate leads using these QR codes. So a couple different examples that we'll go over, and we'll finish up with a couple minutes for questions and answers. So without any further ado, I'll go ahead and jump in and share my screen so we can be efficient and maximize your time here today. Alrighty, so first things first. QR codes, what are they? If you've gone out since COVID-19 has hit, if you've gone to any restaurants, things like that, you'll notice all menus are now QR codes. QR code is just basically a little image that you scan with your cell phone camera, and it's going to send you a direct link to a web page or in this case, our branded app link. So again, we can actually expand upon that when we dive deeper into command with landing pages and things like that. We could have QR codes, that we build out separately, where we can link things to listings, flyers, things of that nature. So there's really, the sky's the limit in regards to how creative you can get with QR codes. Again, the QR code we're going to use today is the pre-made one that KWRI has made for you. And we'll show you how to access that, and that is strictly for your personally branded consumer app. I personally also pay, I want to say it's $150 a year, and I have up to 50 active QR codes that I get reports and scans and things like that on as well. So again, if you want to get really creative with QR codes, I definitely recommend looking at something like that. I can shoot you the link to that stuff, because again, it's not really that expensive. $150 for the whole year, gives you reports, and it gives you the flexibility to have control over what that QR code goes to. Now, first things first, we want to go over where to find our QR code. So first thing we want to do is make sure we get logged into command. Now, this QR code is actually found in MyKW. So we're going to want to go to mykw.kw.com, which we're going to do. If you're already logged into command, it'll automatically log you into MyKW. If for whatever reason you aren't logged into command already, and you go to mykw.com, it will ask for your password, which is the same password for all your KW logins. So we're logged into command here, mykw.kw.com, and it will pull you up to the Keller Williams extranet. This is going to be what your profile looks like. Everyone should look pretty similar. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and hover over the home button. Once we're over the home button, we're going to go to Agent Website Admin. It's going to pull up this additional window, which I'll blow this one up here. Now you have 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0. What we're going to do is go over here to Add Listing IDX Search, which is 4.0. And we're going to drop down to 4.5, which is a mobile property search. When we click that, what you'll now see is your own personally branded QR code. Again, here is the mobile app URL. Here's my personally branded code, which should look different than yours. Now, all we're going to do is go here, pull up our snip tool, we're gonna create a new snip, and then all we're gonna do is take our QR code, save as, and we're going to save that. Now we have our personally branded QR code right here. So we're going to jump out of this screen, and we're going to go back over here. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly, and I can walk you through that process again of how to find your app QR code if for whatever reason you're running any trouble there. With that being said, now we have our app QR code. So just an FYI, we want to make sure that if we haven't done so already, we go through our Kelly guides and we make sure we set up our consumer app, because again, this is what that QR code is driving them to. If for whatever reason you did go into MyKW, you didn't see a personally branded app link, and you're a newer agent or you're new to KW, it may be that you're not fully in the system yet. If that's the case, go ahead and reach out to me directly so we can make sure we get you your personally branded app link so you can start sharing it and hopefully generating leads using it. I can tell you personally from one of our listings this week that went live Monday, I've had 4 scans in the past 24 or actually 48 hours now, and I've had 3 app downloads. So this stuff does work. And those leads literally cost me nothing really, because I'm going to have a listing sign anyways. I have my QR code on my listing sign. So now what I want to do is kind of jump in to some examples of things that our team's using right now currently to generate leads using QR codes. So first things first, obviously I told you, I'm big, inventory super low nationwide in all of our individual markets as well. There's a ton of buyers, sales are up. With that being said, you got a lot of people driving around looking for homes, because again, every home they send their realtor, any home that they inquire about is already under contract within 24 to 48 hours. So again, you got a lot of people driving by, right? Looking at homes, looking at signs in yards. So let's go ahead and maximize that while they're driving by. Put some nice pictures of our app up there on a cell phone. Again, that's rated, last time I looked, 4.8 stars out of 5. So again, that's rated by the consumers. The consumers are liking it, which is the most important thing for our business, as long as the consumers like the tools. Now, with that being said, I want to jump in here to this example. So I'm going to show you guys our listing sign here. And I can show you an example of it in a yard if you guys want. But I built this in Designs actually, which is Command's version of Canva. Okay, went in here, picked the dimensions that I wanted for my sign, specifically typed them in. Again, made sure we had our DBA logo, numbers, all that good stuff. Our team logo, our DBA logo, and then again, our QR code. Now again, this is not the pre-made QR code that I have with KWRI. This is one from my QR code. You can use your pre-made KWRI one the same way as well. This is just one I have so I can get some more detailed reports. Again, if you guys want the link to that one and want to, do a cost benefit analysis there, feel free to reach out to me directly and we can get you that information. But again, they drive by from both sides, they scan, boom, takes them directly to a download my app link in the Apple Play or Google store. And again, the cool thing is it's a different way to search for a home. And in this market, buyers are getting frustrated because every home they look at is under contract or they're losing out on homes. So they're looking for a different way to maybe find that one, right? And this may be that one, right, when they drive by our sign. So again, that's one of the ways we utilize it. I'll stop sharing my screen real quick because I have this actually on me. But another thing that we do on the back of our business cards, right? I'm a big component of, I'll give business cards out. I rather connect, get your information so that now I can follow up with you and cultivate a relationship for a lifetime with you, right? Now, there are situations where you don't always get that person's information and you're not able to cultivate that relationship the way you want to. My hopes then, if I give them my business card, is at some point they're going to see this. naturally with COVID right now, we want to use these. So I'm hoping that this person that gets my business card is now going to take it, scan it, and download my app. In which case, now I have a good email address for them, so I can start to cultivate some sort of relationship long term with them. So again, that is the goal there. With that, some of the other ideas that you can do, right? If you've driven around recently, you've probably seen, tons of, we buy houses, cash signs, and things like that, right? In medias. You can always go and create a QR code sign and put your QR code, in these medians, things like that. Put them, in friends, right? If you have advocates, VIPs, people that are going to be, referral agents possibly, that aren't active, but they're in referral status, right? Have them put one of these QR code signs right in their yard, right? If my parents live at the front of the neighborhood, when you turn in, guess what? You have to see their front yard. So, hey, mom, dad, pop a QR code sign right down the front yard. So everybody in our neighborhood sees it every time they turn in or when they're leaving, right? So you can get really creative about how to leverage these and how to get these in front of as many people as possible. And the cool thing from my experience and what I've found is the more people that see it, naturally, for whatever reason, they want to pull their camera out, they want to scan it, and they want to see where it takes them, right? So it's kind of what happens when I do this. And that's how we're capturing leads, right? So again, I would tell you guys, if you do look to use my QR code, again, they have different packages. I paid, again, $150 for 50 of them. I want to say there's one below that where you get like 3 active ones, and it's basically, it's really cheap. But it gives you a little bit more data. But what I want to do is I want to jump back away from that, share my screen, and show you where we save this QR code now. So I'm going to jump back into Command real quick. All righty. So now what I want to do is I want to jump over here. And again, if you don't know what these applets stand for, you can hover over them and it'll tell you, or you can click that red KW again, and it'll pull them out. What we're going to do is we're going to go in here to Designs. So one of the really cool things about Designs is you can add this photo multiple different ways. One way is obviously when you start to create a design, you'll be able to, and we'll just show you a quick example here. We just do a social post. And again, that's nice. 1 second. I might have to clear my couch. All right. So that's being not as nice as I want today. So I'm going to show you where to go to add that so that it's already there for you when you are in Designs. Give me 1 second. So again, right here, we are in our settings, right? So again, this is where you'll access multiple different things in Command. For instance, your marketing profile, this is where you can actually go here and add multiple things. And again, this is what also brands all your personal stuff. It will pull all this stuff over. So again, you want to make sure all this stuff is up to date in here. Right now, it looks like Designs is being worked on. So let me get in here. So again, when things are not working, come back to them right away. A lot of times things will repopulate pretty quickly. Sometimes what you got to keep in mind is we're continuously, KWI has a production team continuously making updates to the system. So sometimes what will happen is there are new cookies being released, and those new cookies are getting caught up on older cookies. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here because we have 53 active. So I'm going to go here and start removing these, which it will log me out. And I'll log back in. And if you do spend a lot of time in here, in a lot of the different applets, right? If there are updates, you will get hung up. So again, go in here, clear out that catch. We are spinning. All right, so we're up and running now. So when you're here in command, what I want you guys to do, and again, I designed this being a little glitchy this morning, so they may be doing some updates, or they may. What I have noticed recently with designs is we've been having a lot more new templates, new KWI branded stuff that are already made for us, whether it be new buyer presentations, new listing presentations. So they are updating a ton of content in here. So keep that in mind. But again, what you want to do is you want to go back here. So say, for instance, we want to go to images and we want to save some images. Obviously, we have, certain things in here. Let's say I want to go to my device. So I'm going to go here and we'll go desktop where we save this, and my KWI QR code. We'll jump over here, upload file. And now we have our QR code here. So now let's say we are in this template and we just decide to use this template here. Alrighty. Now, let's say we want to move this image up, or in this case, we just want to shrink it. So we could put this image here, and then let's say we move this one here. And now we're going to go to, and we look here in our assets. And if we don't like that, we can say, hey, look, let's go ahead and put a shape around this. Boom. And we'll pop this right down here with black trim. Take that to a white this one in here. So if we wanted to go out and create this as a flyer and send this out to people, obviously right here, we can send this out. We can go post this in mailboxes. And again, obviously, I would probably spend a little bit more time on this. But again, in your assets, headshots, things like that. So we can then just drop this one in here if we wanted to. So again, what I would tell you guys to do, go get your QR code in MyKW, add it to your brand assets. And then also in your brand assets, again, go ahead, if you have your headshot, team logos, things like that, will automatically in your marketing profile, they'll be in your brand assets. But again, if it's something that you want specifically for marketing purposes, feel free to go over into those assets when you're in that initial phase of designs and add whatever you want. That's where you can also add new headshots, still have the old ones up there. And then again, logos are all loaded in your branding kit. So if we want to go over here and we can just pop this DBA logo here and boom, and we'll get rid of this one. And again, quick and easy, something simple, but no matter what type of marketing piece you're making, whether it's a postcard mailer, whether it's a flyer, you can literally now go to your assets and you're going to have those in the images. Boom, you're going to have your QR code there every single time, whenever you need it to use for marketing. So, that's really from a lead gen standpoint. Today, I could tell you, and I'll actually, instead of telling you, I'll show you here what it looks like. We're not going to save this one. What it looks like when someone actually downloads your app. Number one, as long as you have the Kelly app downloaded, probably would have helped there if I accepted the new cookies. When I cleared the old ones. Second, move this. So when you get a app or agent site registration, and again, if they download your app, their login for the app is exactly the same as for your KW website. So again, anybody that downloads my app will have the same information and it'll talk the same, between the website and that. Now I'll get a notification via our agent facing Kelly app, and it's like a tealish blue color in the App Store. It's KELLE, and it's just a teal colored icon with a white KW in it. As long as you have that downloaded, you'll get notifications when leads drop in, including when you have agent site notifications or app downloads. You'll also get these notifications up here in the bell icon, and this is exactly what it looks like. So again, 2-3 days ago, we had multiple sign from my QR code reports. We had multiple sign scans, and we had, in the past 48 hours, we had, roughly about 3 or 4 leads from these app downloads on the listing sign specifically. So that's what they look like as well. But yeah, so today, like I said, we wanted to go over what QR codes were, where to find your personally branded QR code. And again, one more time, just as a refresher, all you're going to do is go to mykw.kw.com. You're going to go over here to Home, Agent Website Admin. It's going to pull up this second window. And again, we're just going to scroll down to 4.0, which is Add Listings IDX Search. And we're going to go down to 4.5, which is Mobile Property Search, which will pull up, again, your personally branded app link. If you're on Apple, I'm not sure if Apple automatically has this installed, but most PCs have the snip tool. So I just go down here and again, search that snip tool. When you pull that up, you just hit new, snip out the part of the image that you want to save, and then just save this as an image. And then you'll download that here in your brand assets. But other than that, that's what we wanted to focus on today. Let me jump in here in the chat to see what we have here. Yes, this is recorded. So what we actually do with these recordings, we have trainings every Wednesday, obviously at 11. They are recorded. If you guys can make it, it's awesome, because now we're going to finish up for a few minutes of Q&A. If anybody has any questions, we can definitely maximize this time. If not, you guys can go about your business and, crush the rest of the day. I will be posting these typically the beginning of the next week, with a reminder for that week's training as well. So typically look Monday or Tuesday of next week, this will be posted. As well as it gets posted to my YouTube page, which doesn't have a lot of content. Yeah, 2021, I'm very intentional about recording every single one of these so that you guys not only have it on the Facebook page as agents to, go back to later, but you can also see the ones and not have to scroll through Facebook, all in a nice YouTube page too as well. So again, all these posts will be linked directly to the YouTube page. So you can check out all the previous ones from 2021, and we're going to start this 2021. We're going to keep it going. So yes, they are recorded though. So do we have any questions around QR codes, or does anybody have any cool ideas that they can throw out to the group in regards to, cool ways that you might be able to use them that I haven't touched on? Because, I'm sure there's people with way better ideas than me out there. All right. Well, it seems like we've touched on a couple of these, a couple of the main ideas. Like I said, I definitely recommend listing signs. Definitely recommend, yard open house signs. Here's another. If you are going to look into creating additional QR codes other than just ones for your app, some really cool outside the box things that I've heard. Create a landing page, right? We in Command, and we'll go over landing pages. That may be an awesome topic for next week's training, actually, in different ways that we can utilize landing pages. But again, maybe we have a landing page that is a open house sign-in sheet, right? So now when we're advertising an open house and that family walks up to that front door, storm door, on the door is a QR code that says, please scan and sign into open house. Now these potential buyers are all scanning that QR code. It's taking them directly to a lead capture form on your landing page that's, hey, open house on this date, this address. So they're like, okay, I got to sign in here. They sign in, and now every person that comes to your open house, you don't have to input them in Command later. You don't have to they literally get dropped right in there. So again, there's many different ways we can use QR codes. And part of that is, obviously landing pages, whether it be a listing landing page and you want to, put a flyer with a QR code, pass those flyers out to all the neighbors so they can check out that, 3D Matterport video you have, and that 3D video is on a landing page, and that QR code takes them there, right? And maybe we get one or two more listings in that neighborhood because we got that first one. There's tons of stuff. We can definitely expand upon landing pages next week and go from there. But occasionally I'll have a decent idea, but they're few and far between. But thank you, and like I said, if you guys are here, this is second biggest group that we've had live on the call. For 2021, we're just getting started, so the sky's the limit. However, if you guys think landing pages would be an awesome thing to visit next week, we can definitely make that happen. But if nobody else has anything, that we'll go ahead and respect your time and finish up here. Look for the recording. And if you guys need anything, as always, feel free to reach out to me directly. Again, I'm in multiple market centers. I will get back to you as quickly as possible. But text message always works the best. I'll see that. And I always circle back around the text first. So again, my cell 757-729-2577. text friendly all the time. And again, I'll get back to you as soon as I'm not in a meeting or on a training call. But again, let me know if you guys need anything around KW Tech and Command. And again, if you guys want to dive deeper into, myqrcode.com, which is or my QR code creator, I have the link. Just reach out to me directly, shoot me a text, and we can dive deeper into that. But other than that, I hope you guys have an awesome Wednesday, and let's crush the rest of this month. Have a great one, everyone.